And yeah, I was struck by how much it resonated because, as you noted, it's a pre-digital world. But I wonder, one of the things we do on the show is we talk about the contemporary. So thinking about even maybe just that passage you read or the whole work, for someone out there who's saying, I don't know, what's the relevance? It's 2025. What do you think, Andrew?
Well, I believe that without a foundational critique, without an apprehension of history, and without a context, we are lost. And so that, in my favorite phrase ever from Noam Chomsky, we must practice intellectual self defense. And that often means calling BS on people. It often means helping people connect to an actual history of a perspective, of a tradition, which is very empowering. And also, again, with the situationists, this whole engagement with the, I don't know what to call it, the algorithm, the machine, the corporate phony world that's projected, people's, what's the word, appropriation of other selves. Fine, if that's what they want to do in their play life, okay, but this can only help them understand what its meaning and what its reverberations are. And for us, political types, it's absolutely essential. Folks might recognize also, I think I mentioned it, the film The Matrix, which, I'm sorry, in some ways has become a bit of a cartoon of itself. But that first film brought a lot of people into ideas that were very much out there and which have been with communities of critical apprehension for a very long time. And can I just say it again? This book is fun. It's the kind of book where you can pick any of the 221 short passages, read it out loud, think about it, share it with your friend, your partner, your colleague. Always had this kooky idea that somebody who knows how to do this should, like the Adbusters folks, they should just send out like big blasts like the robots do on the computers. They just should send out all 221 random kind of, kind of like a John Cage performance thing. They should just send out all 221 dispatches from the situationists into space. So again, the through line for my episode with you starts with an apprehension of the situationists and their mission. And then I think you'll see my other two book selections kind of build on that.
I want to, yeah, and I want to get into that second book in a second, but I totally agree with you on your point about the spectacle. Because, like, I think if you ask, and tell me what you think here, but I think if you ask the average person, like, all the stuff online, social media is BS. People aren't that happy. They don't look that good all 24 hours of the day. They're blah blah blah, right? I think they would agree. But in practice, I think folks have started to be acculturated to accepting a lot of this stuff as true. I was having a discussion with just someone last night, and they were talking about how they have the money and the time and the privilege to be able to travel, but they just don't feel like it. But they feel like they're constantly being pressured to travel. And we kind of unpacked that in a fun conversation. And basically what it came down to was like, in the digital world, anytime you open up your screen, everyone's having fun. They're traveling. They're going all these places. It almost puts this FOMO on this person, right? Even though this is the type of person who knows the internet is BS, but they feel that feeling is real of FOMO. It's projected from that spectacle, and I think a lot of folks are struggling with that, and they'll find this book useful.